Impact Wrestling results January 6, 22 First match, Jordynne Grace, Rachael Ellering, and Rosemary with Jessica Havok vs Chelsea Green, Tasha Steelz and Lady Frost with Savannah Evans in a 6-man tag team match. Rachael Ellering and Tasha Steelz will start things off. Collar and elbow tie up. Ellering with an arm drag takeover. Ellering applies a wrist lock. Ellering transitions into a side headlock. Steelz reverses the hold. Ellering whips Steelz across the ring. Ellering trips Steelz. Ellering grabs a side headlock. Steelz sends Ellering into the ropes. Steelz goes for the trip, but Ellering holds onto the ropes. Ellering with a gut wrench toss. Steelz tags in Frost. Frost rolls under a clothesline from Ellering. Ellering drops Frost with a shoulder tackle. Frost pops back on her feet. Standing switch exchange. Ellering with a waist lock takedown. Frost avoids the baseball slide dropkick. Ellering dodges the cartwheel dropkick. That leads us to a quick standoff in the center of the ring. Rosemary and Steelz are tagged in. Haymaker exchange. Rosemary with forearm shivers. Rosemary sends Steelz to the corner. Rosemary with the stinger splash. Rosemary with the exploder suplex. Steelz sidesteps Rosemary into the turnbuckles. Rosemary uses her feet to create separation. Rosemary with a sliding lariat for a 2 count. Steelz unloads 3 knife edge chops. Rosemary reverses out of the Irish whip from Steelz. Back elbow smash exchange. Rosemary applies the upside down. Evans drops Rosemary with the big boot behind the referee's back. Forearm exchange. Steelz thrust kicks the midsection of Rosemary. Steelz hits the satellite bulldog. Steelz with the roundhouse kick. Rosemary sits up. Rosemary launches Steelz to the corner. Rosemary tags in Ellering. Ellering clotheslines Steelz. Ellering with a flying takedown. Ellering headbutts the midsection of Steelz. Ellering with a basement uppercut. Ellering stomps on the midsection of Steelz. Ellering with the senton splash. Ellering with the fisherman's buster. Steelz tags in Frost. Ellering avoids the roundhouse kick. Frost with a hook kick. Ellering sidesteps Frost into the turnbuckles. Ellering drops Frost with the stow. Ellering tags in Grace. Double Irish whip. Double shoulder tackle. Grace drives Frost back first into the turnbuckles. Grace with 2 corner clotheslines. Grace tags in Ellering. Ellering denies the sunset flip. Ellering with a running forearm smash. Frost tags in Green. Steelz nails Ellering with the cutter. Rosemary spears Steelz. Green responds with the pump kick. Green lands the suicide dive. Frost with the Oriera moonsault. Frost rolls Ellering back into the ring. Green goes for the scissors kick, but Ellering rolls her over for a 2 count. Green fights out of the fireman's carry position. Green connects with the unprettier to pick up the victory. Winner, Chelsea Green, Tasha Steelz, and Lady Frost via pinfall. Second match, JONAH vs Jake. Something collar and elbow tie up. JONAH backs something into the turnbuckles. The referee calls for a clean break. JONAH shoves something. Strong lock-up. We have a stalemate in the corner. JONAH applies a side headlock. Something reverses the hold. JONAH whips something across the ring. Something runs into JONAH. Shoulder block exchange. JONAH rocks something with a forearm smash. JONAH sends something into the ropes. Something with a back elbow smash. Something ducks a clothesline from JONAH. Something with a flying shoulder tackle. Something with a straight right hand. JONAH regains control of the match during the commercial break. JONAH with a rolling splash. JONAH applies a waist lock. Something with 2 sharp elbow strikes. JONAH punches something in the back. JONAH goes for a belly-to-back suplex, but something lands back on his feet. Something with 2 running throat thrusts. Something with a corner spear. Something ducks a clothesline from JONAH. Something with a leaping body block. JONAH regroups on the outside. Something with a flying splash over the top rope. Something rolls JONAH back into the ring. JONAH goes for a vertical suplex, but something lands back on his feet. JONAH decks something with a back elbow smash. Something answers with a forearm smash. Something with a clubbing axe handle strike. JONAH clotheslines something. JONAH with the sentence splash. JONAH connects with the tsunami to pick up the victory. After the match, Josh Alexander storms into the ring. Haymaker exchange. Alexander fights out of the fireman's carry position. JONAH denies the ankle lock. Alexander is raining down haymakers. The security team is trying to separate both men. JONAH wipes out the security team. JONAH with the body avalanche. JONAH body slams Alexander. JONAH with a sentence splash. JONAH stands on the ribs of Alexander. JONAH follows that with a sentence splash on Alexander's back. JONAH rolls a table into the ring. JONAH drives the table into the midsection of Alexander. JONAH plants Alexander with the tsunami through the table. Winner, JONAH via pinfall. Third match, Masha Slamovich vs Sandra. Moone forearm exchange. Moone with a shotgun dropkick. Slamovich kicks Moone in the face. Slamovich with a toe kick. Slamovich delivers her combination offense. Slamovich drops Moone with the spinning back fist. Slamovich with the gut wrench suplex. Slamovich connects with the fisherman's buster to pick up the victory. Winner, Masha Slamovich via pinfall. Fourth match, Deonna Purrazzo with Matthew Rehwoldt vs Mercedes Martinez. Mickie James joins the commentary team for this match. Purrazzo attacks Martinez before the bell rings. Purrazzo kicks Martinez in the face. Purrazzo repeatedly stomps on Martinez's chest. Purrazzo with a throat thrust. Purrazzo continues to stomp on Martinez's chest. Purrazzo clotheslines Martinez for a 2 count. Purrazzo applies a straight jacket hold. Purrazzo ducks a clothesline from Martinez. Purrazzo sends Martinez face first into the canvas. Purrazzo stands on the back of Martinez's head. Purrazzo abuses the referee's 5 count. Purrazzo with a forearm smash. Following a snapmare takeover, Purrazzo with a running boot for a 2 count. Purrazzo shoves Martinez. Purrazzo applies a wrist lock. Purrazzo sends Martinez to the corner. Martinez with 2 clotheslines. Martinez with the backdrop driver. Martinez applies the STF. The referee gets distracted by Rehwoldt. Martinez takes a swipe at Rehwoldt. Purrazzo drops Martinez with the divorce cord. Purrazzo repeatedly kicks Martinez in the back. Purrazzo wraps the left shoulder of Martinez around the bottom rope. Purrazzo kicks the left elbow of Martinez. Purrazzo hyperextends the left shoulder of Martinez for a 2 count. Purrazzo applies a top wrist lock. Purrazzo transitions into a hammer lock. Purrazzo sends Martinez shoulder first into the turnbuckles. Martinez is displaying her fighting spirit. Purrazzo sends Martinez back first into the canvas. Purrazzo bends the left knee of Martinez. Purrazzo applies a kneeling armbar. Purrazzo transitions into a rear chin lock. Martinez with elbows into the midsection of Purrazzo. Purrazzo applies the sleeper hold. Martinez backs Purrazzo into the turnbuckles. Martinez with 3 sharp elbow strikes. Martinez hits the spinebuster for a 2 count. Martinez with forearm shivers. Martinez puts Purrazzo on the top turnbuckle. Martinez slaps Purrazzo in the chest. Purrazzo denies the superplex. Purrazzo headbutts Martinez. Purrazzo with a flying double axe handle strike. Martinez answers with a running boot. Martinez blocks a boot from Purrazzo. Martinez spears Purrazzo on the ring apron. Martinez has complete control of the match during the commercial break. Forearm exchange. Martinez with a knife edge chop. Purrazzo nails Martinez with a throat thrust. Martinez denies the side Russian leg sweep. Martinez with the half and half suplex for a 2 count. Martinez with clubbing knee strikes. Martinez follows that with the implant DDT for a 2 count. Purrazzo denies the Death Valley driver. Purrazzo goes for the sunset flip, but Martinez lands back on her feet. Martinez with a running knee strike. Martinez connects with the air raid crash. Purrazzo makes Martinez tap out to the Venus de Milo. After the match, Purrazzo has an intense stare down with Mickey. Winner, Deonna Purrazzo via submission. 5th match, Ace Austin and Madman Fulton vs Johnny Swinger and Hernandez. Austin and Fulton attacks Swinger and Hernandez before the bell rings. Austin repeatedly stomps on Swinger's chest. Austin kicks Swinger in the gut. Fulton clotheslines Hernandez. Fulton kicks Hernandez out of the ring. Austin with a gut punch. Austin with a toe kick. Following a snapmare takeover, Austin with a knee drop. Austin applies a wrist lock. Austin tags in Fulton. Fulton dumps Swinger face first on Austin's knees. Fulton drops Swinger with the big boot for a 2 count. Fulton backs Swinger into the turnbuckles. Fulton with a gut punch. Fulton tags in Austin. Austin drives his knee into the midsection of Swinger. Austin with a back elbow smash. Austin with a vertical suplex for a 2 count. Austin dives his knee into Swinger's back. Austin slams Swinger's head on the top turnbuckle pad. Austin uppercuts Swinger. Austin tags in Fulton. Fulton lifts Swinger up in the air. Fulton taunts Hernandez. Austin chokes Swinger behind the referee's ring. Swinger is displaying his fighting spirit. Swinger crawls under Fulton. Swinger tags in Hernandez. Hernandez with a slingshot shoulder tackle. Hernandez with 2 clotheslines. Hernandez goes for a vertical suplex, but Fulton gets in the way. Fulton kicks Hernandez in the gut. Hernandez with a double vertical suplex. Hernandez levels Austin with the body avalanche. Hernandez with a corner clothesline. Austin sidesteps Hernandez into the turnbuckles. Austin with the springboard windmill kick. Fulton connects with the end of days. Austin kicks Swinger off the apron. Fulton goes into the cover and picks up the victory. After the match, Fulton grabs a steel chair. Swinger heads to the backstage area. Austin puts his knee on Hernandez's back. Fulton places a chair on the back of Hernandez's neck. Austin delivers the concerto. Winner, Ace Austin and Madman Fulton via pinfall. Updated Impact Hard to Kill 2022 match card, Moose, C, vs Matt Cardona vs William Morrissey in a triple threat match for the Impact World Championship, Mickie James, C, vs Deonna Purrazzo in a Texas death match for the Impact Knockouts World Championship, Josh Alexander vs JONAH, Jordynne Grace vs Chelsea Green vs Rachael Ellering vs Lady Frost vs Rosemary with Jessica Havok vs Tasha Steelz with Savannah Evans in a Knockouts Ultimate X match. The winner will get a future Impact Knockouts World title match, Jonathan Gresham, C, vs Chris Sabin for the Raw World Championship, The Inspiration, C, vs. The Influence with Caleb Conley for the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship, Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, Heath, and Rhino vs. The Good Brothers and Violent by Design in a Hardcore War match, Trey Miguel, C, vs Steve Maclin for the Impact X Division Championship. 6th match, Karl Anderson with Doc Gallows and Violent by Design vs Heath with Eddie Edwards, Rhino, Rich Swann, and Willie Mack. The winner's team will have the numbers advantage in Hardcore War collar and elbow tie-up. Heath drop steps into a side headlock. Anderson whips Heath across the ring. Gallows trips Heath from the outside. The referee is already losing control of this match. The referee has ejected both squads from the ringside area. Collar and elbow tie up. Anderson uppercuts Heath. Heath kicks Anderson in the gut. Heath is throwing haymakers at Anderson. Heath slams Anderson's head on the top turnbuckle pad. Heath tees off on Anderson. Heath whips Anderson into the turnbuckles. Heath transitions into a ground and pound attack. Heath with a flying forearm smash. Anderson regroups on the outside. Anderson throws Heath into the steel ring steps. Anderson sends Heath face first into the steel ring post. Anderson rolls Heath back into the ring. Anderson repeatedly stomps on Heath's chest. Anderson wraps the right shoulder of Heath around the top rope. Anderson poses for the crowd. Anderson with the high kick. Anderson talks smack to the crowd. Anderson sends Heath back first into the turnbuckles for a 2 count. Anderson applies a top wrist lock. Anderson rakes the eyes of Heath. Anderson pulls Heath down to the mat. Anderson repeatedly stomps on the right shoulder of Heath. Anderson toys around with Heath. Haymaker exchange. Anderson uppercuts Heath. Anderson repeatedly stomps on Heath's chest. Anderson goes back to the top wrist lock. Anderson with a straight right hand. Heath whips Anderson across the ring. Heath kicks Anderson in the chest. Heath with a running clothesline. Heath unloads a flurry of strikes. Heath drops Anderson with a leg lariat for a 2 count. Anderson with the swinging arm wringer. Heath rolls Anderson over for a 2 count. Anderson sends Heath's shoulder first into the steel ring post. Anderson connects with the gun stun to pick up the victory. After the match, a massive Pier 6 brawl ensues to close the show. Winner, Karl Anderson via pinfall.